And the wind solar complements, wind and solar system complements each other excellently. So when you see the wind profile of that area, if you see the wind profile of that area, the wind blows after 11 o'clock. But in the winter seasons, in the winter seasons, like when there is sun, there is no wind, and when there is wind, there is no sun. In that case, the wind and solar system is complementing each other very excellently, and this also justified why we use wind-solar hybrid system in that area. And more importantly, the timber blades add up sustainability of the projects. So we had some problems while installing this solar wind turbines there. There were a little bit, we faced some vibrations due to like unbalance of load, and we asked the local carpenter to fix the problems, and he successfully did it. So, and until now, like with these wind turbines, we have encountered most of problems with permanent magnet generators. The stators and the magnets get rubbed with each other and start functioning. And the other results, it's not related to that projects. We have some discussion about this before, and this we found that this small wind system equally relevant to on-grid areas due to current power crisis. We have one project in place called Hakel, and it is connected to the national grid. But the people like are using the wind turbines, the energy from wind turbines regularly there. When they don't have to stay in dark. They used to charge the battery there. So when the grid is shut down, they used to they use power from that wind turbines. So even like they use the grid now. Even now they are using the grid only to operate like a high wattage equipments like television or other things like electric irons. Now, what we feel like the positions of wind energy related stakeholders in Nepal. Like this is the curve, it's very famous curve, but I use it in little different. So in every technology transfer process, there will be like there must be some initiators, and obviously there will due to obvious reasons, these in numbers of the initiators are few. So when these initiators are successful to a certain extent, then you can have lots of followers, and in every cases you will have laggers. But what we feel like the position of wind energy related stakeholders in Nepal, we are still behind this line, because like due to various reasons, and due to this, we are yet to realize, we are yet to to capture that opportunities, which remains virtually untapped till now. So it's a kind of opportunity and challenge for all of us, because like we have started our intervention in wind energy from last maybe 10-15 years. We are not able to produce like sufficient evidence that okay, wind energy will work like solar PV and solar or biogas technology. We are not able to convince the people, let's say government, and opportunity is there in that because it still remains virtually untapped. And the main reasons for that is the less, in previous days, there were less attention of government, there was no wind energy policy. But I'm very happy to say that in latter days, the government of Nepal have shown lots of interest and have done lots of work to boost these sectors. And a special thanks goes to Mr. Narayan here from AEPC, who has done lots of work to prepare, which is working on to prepare the draft the wind energy policy now. And other reasons is lack of sufficient local knowledge and manufacturing base, lack of sufficient wind data, lack of sufficient development fundings are also major constraints, lack of technically sound demonstration sites, and finally lack of sufficient awareness activities in all levels, in community to central levels. So, learnings. So, maybe like it's my own feeling, maybe I may be wrong, but I feel like in our current status quo conditions, so the probability of being successful for these small wind turbines is low. Here you can see from one leverage effect, and like to be successful, it's directly proportionate to like the government commitment and support, and and the number of players. If you have lots of players, you will have lots of chance to share the experience of each other's, interact with each other. But now currently we don't have a large number of players in this field. And ignition levels, I means like so we are. I told you before that the efforts were made in fragmented way. Practical action, even practical action, like in 10 years we have just promoted 23 wind turbines. In this case, like if we come up with a program with like let's say 200 wind turbines, maybe the exciting level of the people involved in the business may be different. This is what like I mean ignition level. Like ignition levels is not also sufficient. The awareness levels is also low. And the depends, like the success rates also depend upon, I'm talking about the community projects, degree of shifting of interest of community from low power to high power that I discussed before. Like the community needs to have more power, but we are talking about like a 100 watt, 200 watts wind turbine, and level of research and development in the country. That's going on country. Okay, so our next plan in future is like to improve wind turbine performance and reliability. As I told you before that we have some problems with the wind turbines performance. So we are now deeply focused on that. And now I'm like also working to access the cost of energy from wind energy systems. There were some questions before, what will be the per unit cost of wind energy system. But till now, like we haven't created any evidence to say that how much will be the cost of energy for the system. The reason may be due to like a lack of wind data, lack of these power curves and other things. And our other plan is to like upsizing, maybe let's try a little bit more from 100 watt to 1000 watt or like 500 watt. And repowering means like I saw you pictures and the earlier site, there were small wind turbines, but the demand of the community is high, but we don't have space to put more turbines on that. In that case, we will our thinking of repowering, and we are like we have seen some encouraging results from the field about the feasibility of this wind home system, just like a solar home system, able to work for off-grid and on-grid. And further, we are planning to work on further development of capacities at manufacturing and operational level. We provide the technical training to manufacturers a few years before, but we feel that we need again some kind of refreshment training to them. So we are working on that. And finally, like we'll keep on working on policy advocacy for sustainable promotion of wind energy in Nepal. So this is my small presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention.